bought my first stock at 19, started day trading at 20, and then became full time kind of like just before I turned 22, but I just say 22. So it took me around roughly around maybe close to 4 years of like serious learning.
And that's not bad, man. Actually, man, I used to be a floor trader for Wall Street for a long time, for like almost 9 years. That's what I used
Okay.
to do. Yeah, I was a floor trader for a while, and then I do marathon money on the side, but I'm trying to scale it to full time. So, but had a few
No.
setbacks. My partner decided to leave after 9 years, so kind of pushed me back. So I'm trying to change the direction of like what we're doing and pushing
But
from there.
what are you trying to do?
Man, so I started like interviewing publicly traded CEOs. It was like a thought I came with in like at middle of the night. And to tell you the truth, man, started it late October, the last week of October. I did the first CEO. Got like 700 people to sign up.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, okay, this might be the route. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, man, okay, you go into these like small cap companies, mid-sized companies, get lucky, you might get a large one, but on the small mid-size, I realized, okay, these people are buying like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 worth of shares. Definitely if it's
Hmm.
between $1 and $10. So they're probably getting a good chunk of it.
Hmm.
And a good amount of time I started realizing that the biggest problem with a lot of these companies is, or the investors, is that nobody ever hears from them. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Everything is speculation or chart reading.
Hmm.
But I don't know how you trade. I don't know if you're a scalper or, you're just straight technical or you're just options but, where I'm from, a lot of it is knowledge,
Hmm.
where the real money's at. Fundamentals are the base of it, but it's information.
Hmm. Hmm.
By the time the retail investors get the information, it's already kind of too late. You're kind of making the last tail end of the 20-30%.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
no,
So
that.
um, a lot of them don't know that. But if they tap in, and I started realizing sometimes you look at a good company, let's say they're making money, they got products out there, sales are coming in, and let's say their net income is like $2 million, negative $2 million net income, but their
Hmm.
sales is like for the year 8 million. More likely next year, they're probably going to be net income plus 3 million. The stock is going to fly up because institutional buyers are going to buy it. So that's kind of like one indicator out of like seven. So a lot of Wall Street guys, a lot of Wall Street dudes go into these. That's why small caps get beat up and mid caps get beat up sometimes.
Hmm.
They go into these companies. Oh well, okay, we found this company is making money and selling products. They have products now. Companies that don't have products, try to stay away from. They don't have nothing. They're selling nothing. They're just collecting debt. But companies have products and making sales. Into institutional investors go in there. Prices like, let's say like $7. They see a negative net income the year before, 3 4 months before. They know for a fact that if you make $8 million in sales in 2024, you're more likely going to make $11 million in sales the next year. Definitely,
Hmm.
if the year prior your debt has become, it's like, say 2023, your net income end up was like negative 5 million. Now 2024, your net income is negative 2 million. It's no brainer that the year after that, and your sales are 10 million. It's no brainer the year after that you're going to be in the positive net income. Your stock is going to fly up at least 20-30%. Now you cut
Hmm.
operation costs down. Now you probably go, okay, let me catch the next dip. Whatever the next dip is, I'm jumping in. Next big dip. Because to people, when they put out their earnings, they're going to say, oh man, it's negative again. But they're not really reading the whole entire picture.
Hmm.
So a lot of retail traders, they'll sell their shares because out of like fear, see the market falling down. Now institutional traders, they're jumping in because they already know. the information be ahead of time. Either they have a reporter in there or analyst tracking it or talking to somebody inside. Say, hey, we got this coming out next. We got this coming out next. Or this product's coming out next. We already test pulled it against 300 people. Like, for example, there's this company called Logic Mark that I interviewed the lady. They already test pulled 1,000 people for their new product coming out. So that means that already in their subscription model is already like $89 a month, right? So they
Mm-hmm.
already test pulled 1,000 people. So that means they already sold this thing to 1,000 people for $89 a month. That means that they already have 1,000 people, and that's almost close to like, that's an extra what, 70, 80 grand, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
Way more than that. But they put it out to market in November. They got an additional 10,000 people to sign up. This is a health medical life alert. You ever heard of life alert?
Yeah, I'm aware of it.
Yeah. So that's what they do. Kind of
Pretty
something
bad. I
like
don't
that.
need that at any point in time, but I know what it is.
Yeah. So like, when you need assistance, you fall, you need assistance, anything like that.
Yeah,
For
yeah. You
older
press
age
press
people.
low, press low
Yeah.
button. Yeah.
So that's what it is. And I'm listening to her, I'm asking questions and stuff like that. And right now their net income, I think it's like -3 million, but they did $10 million in sales in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
That right there is going to tell you, obviously, next year you're going to be at least $4 million in positive net income. So now you wait for the dip. So there was a dip from $2 to 169. Now you see all these institutional investors buying. So the next quarter one, you're going to see all these institutional, like small institutional investors, like have this in their portfolio, and we're like, oh man, why they have this like cheap stock in their portfolio? Because if you look at their fundamentals, it's a given that the ticker is going to fly up. And then after that, they wait until it goes up to $2, $3, $4 and then sell. Then they go back to technical. They find the fundamentals, then they go back to technical. It's all about knowledge. That's the key.
You know what's so interesting? So not only in the brief eulogy you just said, do you know a lot about the world of finance? And like you said, right, the two biggest contributing factors, the two biggest differences between a retail trader and a professional is knowledge and capital. Those are the two biggest things. And one thing though about what you're doing right now, because I know you said earlier how your partner left you and you're like, now I got to figure out a whole different direction on what to put this through. Like I'm going to try to get on the phone with people and so on and so forth. I think in your own response, you just kind of uncovered a huge opportunity within the retail trading space, which is to be able to offer that fundamental analysis directly from the source of CEOs and CFOs to retail traders. Because that right there would be absolutely huge, because a lot of traders, they're literally they are basing their retirement, their everything they've worked hard for on a
Yo,
guy who's
facts,
driving a
facts,
Lamborghini. He's
facts,
got a Richard
facts.
Mille. They're basing hours of sweat, tears, and sacrifice off of a 30-second video. I mean, that alone is astounding. And so, a direction that you could go into is say, listen, we don't do the talking. We talk to people though who are actually doing it. We'll give you the insider information about X, Y, and Z company, right? Kind of like oh, what's that one guy's name? He's dating. I mean, the fact that I'm even making this correlation is insane. But he's dating that OnlyFans model. He's all tatted up, 21 shooter, 21 something. You know who I'm talking about? It's like he's a white guy covered in tattoos. Anyways, point being is that I think it's 21 shooter if I'm not mistaken. Is his
You
name, and
might be
that's
right. You might be right.
I think that's what his name is. Anyways, he was known on his come up. He got his name out there by getting at underground rappers before they became popping. You know what I mean? So he would listen to some music. He would see a guy on World Star or whatever, and he would invite them onto the podcast, and he would just talk to them. He would say, "What do you got going on? What does the future hold for you? Where are you from?" And he would give them a platform to share their story. And then what would end up happening is that other people would see that podcast, and then that artist would get signed, or more people would start listening to that artist. So you could easily do that with this because you, unlike me, are a bit more corporate, right? You have the credentials you need from the experience on Wall Street and also just your knowledge of how, traditional finance works. You could definitely serve that part of the community of retail traders who are like, listen, stop talking to gurus, talk to licensed professionals, but we're going to deliver it to you in a way that gives you the same effect as these other guys are who are just selling courses and so on and so forth. So, just something to think about, of course.
No, definitely, definitely. I did think about that. But man, I know you trade. I was watching some of your videos, just trying to get to know you a little bit through social media. It's kind of social media. I never really try to like. I hate saying trying to get to know somebody through social media because it's not
It's
really
the world we
accurate. You
live in,
only,
bro. It's the
bro,
world we
it's
live
only
in,
like
man.
10. It's like 10 seconds. That's all you got. It's like 10, 30 seconds, whatever they
Yeah.
make that video. But like you're not gonna get to know. Like I saw that you made like $90,000 in trading, and you've been investing. Like I know you said you've been investing for a long time. Your dad. Um, but besides that, man, like what is it like for you to teach? Like basically, you kind of taught yourself. Even though you had somebody teaching you, but like you're not taught by professionals. You're not taught by. You didn't go
Mm-mm,
to no
mm-mm,
course.
mm-mm.
And like how could you? Where do you get your information from? That's really the key. Like, do you come up? Do you have to? You put your own indicators together? Like, how you doing it?
Like, okay, so I'll answer that question, and I'm assuming the two different ways you mean it. How do I get my information in regards to making a trade, and then how do I just get my information in general? So, before I even start the process of doing research, you got to make it very clear what it is. What's the point of you doing X, Y, and Z, right? What's the point of you wanting to buy this stock? What's the point of you wanting to learn this skill set? And so I mean, ever since I was a young kid, I mean, my mom's from New York, right? I'm from DC. And so, we didn't grow up, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. It was really just the hard knocks. Like, we have to get it. Everybody in my family's a grinding machine and so on and so forth. Pause, by the way. But the point that I was, so how I get my information is from people in which I want not necessarily to be like, but to compete with. And so, whatever level in which I set that at, that's the information in which I need to start getting it from. So, I mean, very basic, right? I'll watch seminars from Bill Ackerman, or I'll watch, videos of Warren Buffett, or even nowadays, we live in a day and age where you can watch business courses from Harvard, MIT, Chicago School of Business. You can watch all of that online absolutely for free. And so, even though we're in an ever changing world, I always looked at that to get my base knowledge information in order to actually succeed in the markets. So I still do that to this day. And I also call people to have conversations. I'll call up a hedge fund in Connecticut and I'll say, "Can I talk to a trader?" And I'll ask 1.5 million questions. And they'll be like,
See,
"Okay,
people ain't doing that. People is not
nah,
doing
nah, nah."
that. You
They,
see,
they, they,
you that's like working at Goldman. They make Goldman employees do that. I want you to call this hedge fund who just made 2,000% return and find out what they did. Like berate that guy. But you're getting paid to do that. You doing it because there's nobody paying you, nobody forcing you. But retail
yeah.
traders are not doing that. And that's kind of like it's my point. It's like there's very few people like you that's going to call a hedge fund and just say, "Let me talk to a trader," and
I mean,
like stay there.
there's no other way. I mean, like,
There's really no other way.
how else do you expect? I mean, that's the thing though too. It's like, the way I was growing up was, if you have a problem with somebody or you want to know something, you talk to the source. You don't go through 3 or 4 different people because you're playing a game of telephone. The information is not going to be as accurate. It's going to be misconstrued. It might be misinterpreted. And so at that point, it's like you're not even getting directly correct information. You're getting the person telling you their interpretation of what it is that they just read. So it
What
could be
That's what
completely
social media
different.
has become.
Exactly, you know? And so it's like, if I want to know something, I'm not going to talk to three or four, I'm not going to talk to like four different people to then get to the one person that I really want to talk to. It's like, no, I'll pick up the phone. And like also understanding the risk involved in that. Because a lot of people, they're just scared nowadays. You know, we live in 2024, it's the softest generation known to man. And so a lot of people just get scared. And it's like, what's the worst case scenario? You call up a hedge fund, hey, can I talk to analysis? Do you have an appointment? No. Okay, and they hang up the phone. That's fine. I can call another one. I can call another trading firm. I can call an IRA firm. I can call a private equity. I can call VC. I can call a number of different people. Everybody's available. So just call them, and then that's how I got at least my information in regards to trading.
That's what like this point proven is like directly from the source, and that's how like in the beginning we were talking about like getting the information, and I realized like if you ever been on like StockTwix or like Twitter
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
look on trading, it's like everybody is just speculating. Nobody really knows. Like if you
Hmm.
read some of those people's posts, nobody actually really knows what's going on. Like you have no clue what's going on in this company. Matter of fact, you don't even know what they're selling.
But you also got to understand too, the reason why you have to understand 99% of those types of conversations, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on Reddit, whether it's on a free Telegram or whatever the case may be, 99% of those talks is really just because people want to feel involved within a community. And ultimately speaking, they don't want to make real serious money. If they make money in the process, that is absolutely great. But everybody nowadays has the ability to have their voice heard, which is something that I may not entirely agree with, but that's the world in which we live in. And people love to hear themselves talk. They want to be able to speak their mind and speak their piece because, you know, if I work a dead end job and I hate my life, but I go on my phone, which I have on me 24/7, and I can say whatever I want and have maybe two people agree with me, my confidence booster just
That's
went through
enough.
the
That's
roof.
enough. That's
You know
enough.
what I mean? That's enough
That's
for them.
enough.
And so
You
they
got it.
say they want to make money, but they really don't. Because if you do, you know for a fact those are you're just your mindset is completely different.
And then that's like, and so like you saying that is that's where I've seen it's like they will sign up and they watch the interviews.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, I bought 1,000 shares. I didn't know nothing about this. It's like, then why did you buy this? It's like, what was the trade idea? What was the investment? Like, did somebody just tell you? And a lot of it is back to what you were saying. It's telephone. Is somebody else told them to do it and they thought they can make some money and they didn't. And then they get on here when things go left, they just start yapping. And it's true. They just want to be a part of a community. And at the end of the day, like you said, if two or three people validate that, they're gonna keep coming back.
That's exactly how it works, you know. And that's why I think on my end, in regards to my businesses, it's kind of like I'm always a trader first at the end of the day. Because in order to really acquire like enough people to join a community or a Discord or whatever the case may be, you kind of need to almost mold yourself into what most people see on social media. And that I don't naturally agree with. Hence why, you know, instead of having 40,000 or 100,000 people in the community, it's like, no, I got a couple thousand people. But these couple thousand people are like, listen, I've invested time, energy, and resources into this. I want to learn for real. And, you know, you're getting the 1% of the 1% of people who want to trade in general, which is just a small populace of people. But once you do find those people, though, it's okay. You know, everything is good. You get to have actual discussions. You get to talk about things that really do matter. You get to go over analysis and so on and so forth, you know. But it's the world we live in, man. Everybody wants to have their voice heard, even though they're not saying anything of value. That's just the way we live.
100%. Man, what are you trading now, man? What are you into now?
Primarily, I trade the Dow Jones. That's really all I focus on. When I first started trading, I would just buy and hold stocks. So the first stock I ever purchased was when I was 19, and essentially the company was a Japanese electric car company. It was supposed to be the competitor to Tesla. That company has maybe grown $2 in values in stock price since I bought it then. Like it hasn't, you know, the funding that Japan. I mean, and also back then I was looking at the markets in Japan, and I'm like, these markets don't even look good. I'll be surprised if they're not bankrupt by 2030. But so I bought that first stock. I purchased it. I purchased like 10 shares at $5 a piece. So at first it was buy and hold stocks, and then afterwards, when I was around 20, then that's when it came to day trading, just because of kind of like the goals that I had. I wanted to use this as a form of income. I wanted to start compounding a lot more quickly. So then I started looking into low barriers of entry trading styles, and then that's when I came across foreign exchange, because rather than opening up a brokerage at TD Ameritrade and needing a little bit more capital, at that point I hopped into foreign exchange, put through barely anything into a trading account, and at that point I was just trading currencies. I got really good at that, and since I was 22, so 2022, I've solely just been focused on trading the Dow Jones. That's been kind of like my main concern, and then I'll hop into currencies here and there if I see something that's pretty solid.
But are you option trading in the Dow Jones, or are you just really just buying the shares and or shorting? What are you doing?
Oh, oh, okay. So to be more specific, I interact with the Dow Jones market within the foreign exchange market. So I'm kind of doing it that way, and I'll scalp that in the morning when the first bell opens. So at 9 a.m. I'm up. Well, I'm not. I'm up before that, but 9 a.m. When the bell rings, I'm in there and I'm trading. And I'm a scalper, so I'm catching short, small price movements, and I'm usually done within maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, depending upon what I'm doing.
Yeah. Do you have like a percentage goal? Like you
Um,
10%, 15%, 2%, 5%, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, so every day my goal is to make at least 5%. That's really my overall goal is 5%. Bare minimum though, I'm okay with 3%. If I could do 3% a day, I'm totally fine. My risk management usually is pretty tight though. I usually don't like to risk any more than half of a percent to 1% on any given
You
day.
like I like telling you people don't understand how much money that really is when you say 3 to 5%.
That's a lot of money.
It really is.
It's a decent
It's
amount. I'm
a
not
lot.
gonna lie to you. It's
It's
not.
just a lot of money. As people say, five, because like I know when somebody who tells me they're oh, I'm a real trader, I trade, and they say, yeah, man, my goal for the day is 20%. I look at them, I was like,
20%. How much? What, of $100? Okay,
I
good for
was
you,
like,
bro.
okay. You ain't no real trader,
Like,
man.
all right, you made 20
Because
bucks, bro.
yeah,
Congratulations, you know?
I mean, you ain't no real trader, and I try to tell people, you don't know how quickly things compound. If you just a buy and hold, I would tell people, if you're a buy and hold, the moment you get up to 10 to 15%, get out. If you're just a buy and hold, if you're a type of
Yeah.
person, you buy a stock in January, by May it's up 15, 20%, let it go, because you'll increase your wealth a lot quicker. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because then by from May to August, that thing could go back down 15%. So what I try
Hmm.
to tell people is 10 if you're buying hold and you're gonna hold for 3 6 months a year, the moment you get 20%, get out. Find another stock. You should, because if you're really trying to grow, compound, like you said, faster, you don't want to hold. You want to hold forever because a lot of stock fluctuates. So you can get in, get out,
Right.
get in, get out, get in, get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
And it's
then
like,
now one this is where once you got like a 20 $30,000 account, $40,000 account, this is where I would say is more 3 5%. You can do that on a consistent basis and be able to grow
mhm.
your account and compound. um Most people will hear those numbers 3 to 5% and they will just look at me and say, like, man, that's nothing. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about.
I mean,
You don't,
yeah,
you don't know what you
I mean,
yeah,
it's funny.
you
It's funny how you mentioned that too, because I saw this guy on Instagram the other day, and he said how he turned $100 into 1 million in 2 months. And most people go to the immediate responses, it's fake, or oh my God, that's amazing. Real Trader's response is he risked his entire account every single trade. 100% risk he had on it for every single trade. Any loss he had, like any loss is wiping out 30%, 40%, 60% of your entire account. And you're telling me you were right for 2 months straight and you turned $100 into 1 million? Okay, then with all due respect, why the hell are you not a multi-billionaire at this point? You should have an
100%.
entire floor full of
Oh,
traders
there it is.
who are just working for you, who are just copying your strategy. Like, if you were really that sick with it, okay, you should be the king of New York. You should be the king of Chicago. You should go
Yeah.
straight to these guys. You should go straight to the richest person you know, ask them for everything that they got, and go ahead and double that and triple that up. But you don't.
No, you
So it's
don't.
like,
It's I
all
seen
right,
I
okay.
seen I seen that one. He was like he was on a jet ski in his car and then he was sitting by a computer. I think I seen that video where he
Yeah, and
was
I'm
saying like,
sitting
yeah,
there like, I'm like, why the hell do you even? Why, if you have that type of capabilities, turn $100 into $1 million.
why are you even on Instagram? Like,
What? Not even. Why you even mess around with $100?
yeah,
What are you even? What are you talking about? I put $100 into a trading account. Why the fuck? Why the hell would you do that? Go get a 10 million. Go get 20 million and do the same thing. The type of
yeah,
growth you would
bar,
have in 2 months.
yeah,
You you'll be the next Warren Buffett by the
yeah,
end of the damn year.
damn,
You
yeah.
actually know what you're doing. You
Oh
know what I'm
man,
saying? I'm
it's
like, no
crazy when you hear.
disrespect, of course, but
Yeah,
just
it is crazy when you hear that because like I never really comment on those, but when you do read the comments, either you this is fake or wow, good for you, and then people and the thing about it, courses, and it's like, and you hear like, oh, it's all fake, man. Stock markets is just a casino. It's really not. It's like, I was reading this book and it said long term, short term, the stock in the company looks separate. But long term,
yeah,
the stock in the company is 100% correlated.
yes,
Long term,
100%.
and a lot of people don't see that, and that's why like stuff like that. When you hear people say, "Oh, I turned $100 to 1 million trading in 2 months," you didn't do that.
It's
It's
like,
like you didn't even like you would have to find like you don't even understand. You would have to find like your first three trade had to be 3,000% per trade.
I did the math. You couldn't lose one trade for the first five trades. You couldn't.
Okay.
You couldn't lose
Yeah,
once. You had to
yeah.
be perfect five trades at least
And
straight.
percentage gain, like I don't even know, man. Like what if you got 1,000%? What that would be 1,000? What like a
Nah,
thousand
yeah.
percent
I
would be
mean,
$1,000? Like your first, that's what I'm saying. Your first three trades, 3 or 4 or 5 trades would have to be 3, 4,000%. Then you got like
there,
5, 6K. It would be like something like that. And I just don't
yeah.
see that happening. And that's
I
that's
mean,
you playing options. And what companies moving like that in the stock market? We would have heard about it.
oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, and again, it's like at the end of the it's something that you just mentioned too, which is that in the long term, there's a direct correlation between a company and their stock. That's also why some of the most well-known investors, right, like Bill Ackman, Warren Buffett, Ray Dalio, those guys, they're not day traders. They are long-term investors because in their minds, they're like, first of all, it's working smarter, not harder, right? Like day trading is emotionally taxing. Like it's something that if real traders, like it's imagine like your girl yelling at you 24/7 and you not wanting to hit her or smack her or tell her to be quiet and just sitting there with a straight face and saying nothing she's saying is bothering you and she getting real in your face about it. Oh, you ain't this, you ain't like like that's the type of emotional integrity you need to have in regards to the markets, and you need to have that every single day. And so some of the greatest investors of all time, they're not day traders. They are buy and hold guys. They go into a company, purchase 30% of their stock, and say, we'll implement the right people in here and we'll hold on to it for the next 20 or 30 years. Our entire plan. Let's go ahead and let's get into it. And that's why those guys are worth billions upon billions of dollars and have hundreds of billions more in assets under management.
This is you said the word for word. It's exactly what happens. And a lot of people think like they're just buying the company and sitting on. No, they're actually going in there implementing all the right people. They buy 30, 40% of the company. They got
Mm,
controlling shares. And that's why I said like a lot of the institutional buying is once the company starts pushing a product and they start turning a profit, the moment that happens, you'll start seeing large investors come in by 10, 15, 20%, 30% of their shares because now they're turning a profit. They got a product out there. They're willing to sit on it for 2, 3 years. And then that stock that used to be 5, 10, 15, $20 is now 40, 50, $60. You know what I mean?
hmm
The best example is Celsius, the
Yeah.
energy drink.
Oh
That's the best
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
example.
Yeah. 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 Of
But
course. Of
it's the best
course.
example. Pepsi
Yep.
went in there, bought bought $850 million worth of shares.
Mm-hmm.
Stock skyrocketed for the last 4 years.
Yep. Yeah.
It's
Celsius is
just
good.
now coming down in the last 3 months. It's just
Mm-hmm.
now coming down. It's been going crazy the last 4 years. That's the point. The moment they figured out how to turn a profit, a big company came in there and bought $1 billion worth of shares.
Mm-hmm.
850 million, $1 billion worth of shares. Exactly is exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Celsius is exactly what happened to them. And if you could have determined early on, like say if you were a retail trader, you could have, like, for example, called the company, talked to investor relations. You could have determined early on, real quick, that they're about to turn a profit next year. That's
Mm-hmm.
really it, bro. It's like the source is, and like back to what we were saying, is going directly for the source. Because all you had to do is really call. So like, okay, what's your projections for next year? Like, I see that you guys have a negative. Because if you look back in 2016, it only had a negative $1 million net income. So all you would
Yeah.
had to do is, okay, you making $25 million in sales. You have a negative net income. So that means next year you're probably gonna have 5 million plus income, net income. That would have just been a phone call. Talk to CEO. What's your plan to expand on that? After
Yeah.
taxes and everything, you're gonna have $5 million left. What's your plan to expand on that? And that
Yeah.
that that right there, you would have been at $10 a share back then. You would have like, all right, throw 10 grand into it. That's exactly what you're talking about. Institutional, like Warren Buffett and all them do. Exactly what happens.
And not only that, but let's say you came and because there might be some people listening to this saying, well, what if I can't get a hold to the CEO? What if I can't get a hold to upper management? Because sometimes that is just the case, right? CEOs, upper management, they don't want to be bothered. They want to just focus mainly on their business and make sure that their company remains profitable and that they make, their VCs, their shareholders, and everybody happy. Okay, great. Well, in the case of Celsius, I mean, go talk to somebody that works in the warehouse. Ask them, hey, how much inventory do you guys have? Do you guys have a lot of inventory, a little bit of inventory? How much are you pushing out a day? A warehouse guy will talk to you in 2 seconds. He's just like just a normal person.
Yeah,
He can
he
go
he
ahead and
probably
say,
bored. He probably
"Hey,
he probably
dude's
bored.
dude's on a pallet jack for 12 hours a day. He's over here probably stealing 4, 5, 6 Celsius. You could ask him directly to his face, do you like Celsius? Oh, I like it. It tastes delicious. I steal a whole pack of them every single day. Okay, cool. How many shipments you guys coming in? What's your most common flavor? Or, have there been anything happening? Right? They can give you, they're literally on they're inside. They're literally inside the warehouse. They're packaging
Yeah,
everything up. They're seeing everything.
100%. And they'll tell you, oh, and you ever work with somebody that works in a warehouse? It's like, oh, this is a slow season.
Yeah. Hmm.
And then if you ever, like, I guarantee you, if you ever work with somebody at a warehouse and they work for a publicly traded company and they tell you this is a slow season, go look at their balance sheet. It'll be a drop off.
Hmm.
It'll be a drop off in the money.
Exactly. Now obviously you can't do that if like, you what's it called? If you own a financial firm, retail traders can do this, right?
Oh
Financial
yeah, you can't
financial institutions.
find yourself with handcuffs.
Yeah,
Find yourself with handcuffs real quick.
yeah,
No, but no.
Bobby Axelrod type shit. You can't do that now.
Yeah, for real, you cannot do that. But no, but you made a good point, man. Yeah, I think the information you can actually get the source of information yourself, man. And that's one of the other reasons why I rather just interview the CEO. He answers the questions because I get the questions from the audience. He answers the questions. You got it directly from the source. Because I'd be asking them what like their plan for 2025 is. That's what I'd be asking them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? What's your plan for 25? Are you guys looking to turn a profit? Because they can't tell me numbers, but they can sure tell me, oh, yeah, by quarter two, we should be profitable. And that
Hmm.
tells you, like, all right, I'm going to look out for that. If quarter two ends, you're profitable, like you said, all right, I could trust you. Because
Hmm.
once you could trust them, it's like, now I could play inside this stock.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. But that's actually the blessing in disguise when it comes to retail trading. Obviously, you don't um, have the same access to knowledge that somebody at JP Morgan would. And obviously, you don't have the capital required to be able to compete with them, but you're not underneath the same regulations, the same guidelines that financial institutions are under. And not only that, but for a trader to execute a physical trade, that there that compared to an institution is completely different. If I hop onto my phone right now, I can enter into a trade today. On an institutional level, there's a whole checks and balances. There's a process that has to go in before that trade actually clears. So a retail trader has even more freedom to do what it is that they want to do and can get actually direct access from people who can tell them what it is that they need to do. And like it's actually that's why I like and that's why I enjoy being a retail trader, because there's really we don't follow the same rules they do, so we could do whatever we want to do, you know what I mean? And so as much as people say I want to trade like a bank, I'm like, no, just become the best retail trader you can be. You don't have to follow the same rules they do. You can do whatever you want, literally speaking, and you'll be good, you know. Just the moment you start asking people for money, then obviously you got
And that's when you gotta
yeah,
be licensed and everything. But
right, that's when you got to
no,
know
but
what you're talking
yeah,
about.
you're 100% right, man. When you're part of the institution, like even when you sign up to open a trading account, man, the first thing they ask you, man, are you part of the institution? Because the moment you click yes, you part of the institution. Oh yeah, you gotta
Nope.
abide by a whole set of rules,
Exactly.
whole set of problems. But
Exactly.
man, I really appreciate you coming on here, man.
Not
Like,
for sure,
I know
man.
you, I know you were busy, man. I know you was like you had a whole full schedule, man. But
No.
besides that, man, thank you for coming on Marathon Money. I appreciate it, man. I hope we can do this again because it was a good conversation. Obviously, you know what you're doing. Um, you said you got a Discord?
Yeah, I do have a Discord. It's called if you it's Arcadia Exchange on Instagram. So it's Arcadia and then the letter X and then exchange right afterwards. So right now, me and my team are working on building a trading community that is affordable compared to all the other gurus out there. We also, offer high quality course material, live trading sessions, trade alerts sent directly to your phone, the whole shtick, and one-on-one mentorship. And then the goal with that is to then expand into offering a brokerage license registration, licensed brokerage company, offering our own and creating our own prop firm solution. And we plan on doing that probably by within the next few months, and then hopefully getting headquartered up in Chicago, and then go ahead and just moving from there.
Man, that's amazing, man. I hope that those endeavors come true, man. That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
no, I appreciate
Man,
you,
we
man. I
definitely we
also,
definitely got it. We definitely got to catch up on that when those things get started.
oh yeah, no, for sure, man. I appreciate you for having me on. You know what I'm saying? You got my phone number, so you can text me whenever you want, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem, man. Besides that, peace. Yo, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. For you guys don't know, I'm on YouTube now. I appreciate the 10,000 people that subscribed. Thank you so much. Been on there for 3 months. YouTube is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, man. But I appreciate those people who've been listening to us for 9 years and chose to subscribe. Those who don't know yet, I'm on YouTube, so you can see a live video instead of listen to the audio. So peace.